It's the NFL on EA Sports, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Miami Dolphins and the Cleveland Browns, and it's coming up next.
We have a beautiful late summer afternoon for football here at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Miami Dolphins and the Cleveland Browns. And a welcome in, everybody, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, so much gets made about offensive comparisons. Here's a matchup where the defenses may just take center stage.
Yeah, we're usually talking about guys scoring touchdowns. How about the guys who prevent them and change the momentum of the game when they take the ball away? I love those ball hawks in the secondary. People after my own heart.
Here's Jason Sanders now to get this one started, and off we go from Cleveland. Fielded just outside the goal line. Oh, a good return up past the 30. There he goes left side. And he will score. Touchdown, Cleveland. So a heck of a start to this one. We haven't even gotten settled in already in the end zone on the opening kickoff.
And you know what happens, too? Now you got to translate what that means, because I think for the team that just scored, their defense, I think they'll be more aggressive now. They'll be bolder. They're playing with a lead and an early one and some momentum. So if you're the offensive coordinator on the other side of the field, you'd better be prepared for some heavy pressure coming your way. They're going to try and get another big score and a big win early.
Extra point by York is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So how about that for an intriguing start? The opening kickoff of the ball game, return for a touchdown. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown, as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25. Here is Tua Tagovailoa heading out to lead this Miami offense.
The secret to his game and his success, incredible chemistry with each and every one of the guys who catches passes with him. And not only does he ask them to stay after practice or meet it before practice, he actually demands it, because he knows if they have that kind of chemistry built up, they're going to be hard to beat each and every ball game.
They'll run here with Raheem Mostert. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time, because let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Tua going to throw. Over the middle and complete to Waddle. And they're going to get him down well short of the first, as he can only get this to the 30. Call it a pickup of 3, and also now likely a punt on their opening drive. Well, able to get the completion, but unfortunately not able to get the third down conversion there on that play.
And I like how the defense approached that one. They knew where the first down marker was, and they decide whatever you want to have, you can. You're just not going to get the first down. Excellent tackling right there.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on fourth down. Back deep, Jakeem Grant. It's taken to the 26. 35 yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. So now you've got their offense coming out for the first time with great initial field position. The former national champion at Clemson bringing him onto the field, and that's the signal caller, Deshaun Watson.
And that's really good field position they were given. Now, nothing's a gimme. We know that. But I know his goal, have the field goal kicker just stay on the bench. They want to put it in the end zone and get 6 out of this one. If they don't, I think it'll feel like a disappointment.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Chubb running right. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Well, big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. You know, I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Here's Watson, option left. And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down. And Chubb will try the middle here. He pushes forward from maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play? Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. To throw is Watson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Jalen Phillips, the former first-rounder, getting in there for the sack. We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal? That's absolutely huge with the play he just made. And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. Now Watson will step away, and out comes Cade York to handle this 4th down field goal try for the Browns. Oh, they pitch to the tight end. It's a fake. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And the Dolphins defense is able to hold. So Miami coming out for their 2nd drive. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here. They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can. You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive? Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. How about that, Red Man? test them early, but they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
Tagovailoa going to try and throw on third down. Got a man. It's Waddle, complete. On the move past the 40. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. And again, it's Tagovailoa. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Okay, ready?
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. On play action, here's Tua. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked off by Anthony Walker. And the Browns are going to take over at their own 28-yard line.
Parker, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Trying to turn the corner, but they string him out and stop him at the line of scrimmage. The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Here's Watson. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And he's got it inside the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up the 1st and goal. Hard to believe that arm strength was a knock on Deshaun Watson coming out of Clemson, but he showed what he's got there.
And boy, that was something to watch, wasn't it? How about the way these guys came out here in the 1st quarter? They really put their stamp on this game early with their play calls, and they certainly look good so far.
And that throw, amazingly, well over 70 yards in the air according to Next Gen Stats. Wow.
Set.
They'll run with Chubb. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb, an 8-yard touchdown run. And the Browns have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point by York is up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. A drive there of just 4 plays. And Nick Chubb the one to finish it off as he does so with a touchdown run. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And not much on this one. Takes it from the 21. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that'll make it second down. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. Looking to throw again on second down. Tua. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football.
They're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10. They're coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. The give running right is Chubb. And he is going to lose yardage here. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Watson now to throw. On the throw, let him too much that time. It's incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Oh, he's going to go for it all. And he backs it away, and it falls down incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive...
And they fake it. They pitch to the tight end. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. It would have been a long field goal. The fake doesn't work out, and the Dolphins' defense is able to hold. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their 38. He'll look to Mostert to start things out. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out by a few inches. That'll be a 1st down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the 1st quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. And that is incomplete.
I love those corners who can not only cover, but don't mind getting a little physical as well. How about the coverage on that play, knocking that pass away?
And here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. Yards on the return that time. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Cleveland offense making their way out. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. They begin this drive with Chubb. And some space here. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Well, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
The York on now for the extra point. It's good, and before you know it, it's 21-0. Well, I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. A fairly short kick from the 14. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores. And I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Ready, ready.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. From the gun, it's Tua. Well, the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
3 scores down, not even at halftime yet. They're not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Now the veteran Thomas Morstead on to punt it away. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Here comes Grant on the return. They'll score that a 36-yard punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb doing it again with his 3rd touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Browns are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, CD, what a start for them. Still in the first quarter, they're absolutely blitzing them. All the points that they've put up, I'm not sure what you say on the other sideline right now.
I think it's as simple as this, partner. The way that they're playing, there's no limits on what this league could become.
York now for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away. Fields it right around the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over.
They've got to be absolutely reeling right now. Couldn't have expected to be down this big, this early. But that's the spot they're in as they come up to try again here. Tua now on first down. Being chased out left. Tua, and the ball is out. And this is picked up by the Browns. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for Browns TD. Well, Charles, things just seem to be getting worse and worse for one sideline. And flip it over after that fumble return for a touchdown. Better and better on the opposite end. What an impressive first-half performance.
And, partner, I know the saying in the NFL goes that no lead is safe, but I will say that this one seems pretty secure. And if we continue to see plays like that, I'm going to switch back and say this lead is safe.
Now York on now for the extra point. He's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So plenty of fireworks here early, 35-0 now as the kick is away. From the 10. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. Tua sets up to pass it. Over the middle, complete. That's Hill. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. They run out of the shotgun with Mostert. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
And he'll get about 3 out of that up to the 39-yard line. And for the Browns, a nickel set here on third down. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And he's taken down. This will be a Browns sack. Drop for a loss of 7 on multiple defenders.
Secondary count real quick. He had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Returnable for Grant. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their own 44. He'll start things off with a handoff to Chubb. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. 165 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating him up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
On first down, it's Watson. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
And they'll be stopped at the 28. On a play that started at the 14, they pick up 14. They're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. On to the second from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football as they go to work on a first and goal. And again, it's Chubb. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be second and goal. Chubb will score. Touchdown, Cleveland. What a game it's been for him in the backfield, Charles, as he pounds it into the end zone yet again.
Yeah, and he hits the end zone one more time, and his blockers cleared all those lanes. Before the snap, they called for the heavy unit, right? 3 tight ends coming on the field, and they got the job done clearing the way.
York now for the extra point. Oh, and it's no good. He tugged it wide left, and that will keep our score right where it is. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This one fielded at the 5. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Dolphins offense returning to the field. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's second and 11.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in second and long yardage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a second and 11. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. The Dolphins on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. That's going to be caught by Waddle. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5. On first down, Tagovailoa. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
How about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 23. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. Handful of carries last time out there. Finished it off, Charles, with a short touchdown run.
Yeah, and that's pretty nice for him to be able to do that because normally where they were on the field, it's going to take some muscle to get in there, right? It's going to take some power because things are so stacked up, well blocked, and he was able to get into the end zone somewhat safely.
Yeah, that's the thing. Several of those carries last drive, he had some good holes, some good options. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. My, oh my, 250 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half. So down inside the 5-yard line, I have to say, really just a poor job defensively there.
You're exactly right. As a former defensive back, that was not played well at all. But give credit to the offense and give credit to the guy running the football. He gets it down all the way inside the 5.
They run again on 1st down, Chubb. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Hunt is in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Boy, I mean, at this point, what more do we say here? I got nothing.
And you know, so many people talk all the time about having announcer-less games, and they want that. This could be a candidate for it because if we stay here and do this, we're going to have a lot to fill in the second half.
There's still another half? The York on now for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And Kareem Hunt, the one to finish it off as he did so with a touchdown run. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42. Great return. And the Dolphins getting set to go here. The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 42. On the ground, it's Mostert to start the drive. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. From midfield, here's Tua. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it, and they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. The Browns set and ready to go on offense. Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Handoff up the middle. Hunt. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Now a first down throw, Watson. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead, it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. And that is taken in by Njoku. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. 27 yards there, a first down.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Give him 10 yards on the keeper, that'll lead to a 2nd down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
This will be play number 7 on the drive, 3rd and a yard. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
Running for it. Here's Chubb. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. Well, they've been burned twice already on 4th down, but the 3rd time's the charm as they keep the drive moving. Earlier, they had 2 other 4th down conversion attempts that did not go their way. This time, it does go their way.
And this reminds me of a conversation I had with him in the offseason. There wasn't even a game to be played, but what he told me, I have enough confidence in my team and my play calling ability that I think I can always pick it up. Thus, they continue to go for it.
So the drive will indeed continue. 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. They run it again with Chubb. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Eight yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They go up the middle with Chubb. pushes past him. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, 28 yards. And the Browns are able to add on to their first half lead. So that CD, that was impressive. He got out of 3, maybe 4 tackles there on his way to the end zone.
And a lot of times when you break a tackle or slip a tackle, it actually slows you down. That's what we were taught. If you don't make the play, make him stop his feet so someone else can get there and tackle him. But not here. He just kept right on going.
York now for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. A 10-play drive that time. And Nick Chubb the one to finish it off as he does so with a touchdown run. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. Taken from about the 12. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Dolphins offense returning to the field.
And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now.
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
Setting to throw on first down is Tua.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Ready, ready.
To throw again on second down. Tua. Oh, Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Greedy Williams picks it off. Well, there are several factors at play for why they face this deficit right now, Charles, but that's now 3 interceptions that he has thrown and just giving the football away. Pretty careless here in the opening half.
Yeah, I know that all of our parents taught us to share as youngsters, but in this game, you don't want to share with the other team. Keep it for yourself. Keep it for your team. Got to cut down on all of those throws, those errant passes, if they hope to get back into this game.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he's got room. And he's going to get this down inside the 5 before he's out of bounds. A big play that time out of Chubb. Give him 42 yards on the ground.
Terrific run from one of the fastest backs in the game today. A guy who keeps defensive coordinators up at night, no doubt.
Remember when we were meeting with the D coordinator before the game and all he talked about was run fits, making sure our guys were in the right place so there were no creases?
They missed their fits, didn't they?
Yeah, there was no fit there. The only fit was at the end when he threw his headset down after that big run.
Right back to him on first down. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll give it to Chubb. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Nick Chubb, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Browns just continue to roll. But just power football there, down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible. But all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
The York on now for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And Nick Chubb the one to finish it off as he does so with a touchdown run. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Up the middle they go with Mostert.
And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line.
And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This will be 3rd and a mile. Now Tua.
And they're going to sack him again. The 5th time they've gotten him today, and this one results in a safety.
I can't believe what we're seeing out of them so far. We knew coming in these guys were plenty talented. But 5 sacks and now safety in the first half, this is a group possessed.
So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. This is fielded at the 27.
Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to throw, Watson. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Perfect example of the kind of attitude you have to play defensive back in the NFL. You want to be the only defender around, and you want them to challenge you. And on that play, he came through.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Here's Watson, option left. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Give him 4 yards there on the 1st down keeper.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On third down, here's Hunt. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. Fourth down now after a loss of 2.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Oh, they pitch to the tight end. It's a fake. The fake field goal catches everyone by surprise. And the Browns' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. And the fake field goal works to perfection. You don't see it often, and they caught him by surprise.
And how about the guts to call it in that situation? Think you're going to get an easy 3? Instead, you turn it into 6.
York now for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it's capped off by the Browns' touchdown. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. Very short kick taken right at the 20. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Miami's offense set and ready to go. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp, and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. It's a gain of 35.
We know play callers can be very creative in this game today, but sometimes when they've got receivers with speed like this, they don't need to design incredibly complex calls. Sometimes it's just get the ball in his hands and let him do his thing. In a sense, less can become more, and it was right there.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Looking to pass. Tua. Dancing to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Throwing on 2nd and long. Tua. Under pressure, they got him again. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Now on 3rd and forever, he'll look to throw. But his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they will begin in field goal range already as they search for a potential score. After the interception, here's Watson. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top. As we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports halftime report. First, though, time for a check of the next-gen stats from that first half for Miami. And they will need to get this passing game in gear, because they did not do much of anything in that first half. and it's why the scoreline is what it is. Meanwhile, for the Browns, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point. The Dolphins down on the scoreboard, but they'll have it first as we get going in this third quarter. From just inside the 20, a short kick. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Tua and the rest of the Dolphin offense back out on the field.
Any surprise in your mind he's out there to start the second half after 4 first-half interceptions?
He's to be surprised by a lot of things, partner, but in this case I'm not, because you know they want him to be their guy. And the only way to truly establish that is to give him a chance to work through some of the issues he had in the first half.
Meanwhile, Tua's throws taken in by Waddle.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it's second down.
Running the counter with Mostert.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Tua going to throw.
And now here's another interception. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown.
Well, I mean, you get it. They're trying to make something happen here in this third quarter, CD, but I don't think a pick 6 is exactly what they had in mind.
No, not at all, because this offense, they've been stuck all game long. Haven't dented the scoreboard yet, and they're kind of forced to take a few chances here. And that one, it backfired in a big way.
A York on now for the extra point.
And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
This one taken just inside the 10. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. There'll be a loss of 6 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Well, sometimes despite the best planning, the defense actually has a plan as well. And it blanketed everyone on that play. They were able to close it down and spill it for a loss.
It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. Wilson's got it complete. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the first down. So 8 yards on the completion there, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks, don't let them get there, and they rallied and made the tackle.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for Miami. Taken in at the 22. A good return there, 17 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Cleveland offense making their way out. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10.
At the 39-yard line. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a 1st down. It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. Trying to lay one up deep. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland.
Donovan Peoples-Jones.
50 yards.
And the Browns are pouring it on. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And Charles, we haven't even hit the 4th quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
York now for the extra point.
And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Miami set to take over. The disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook. The bottom line is don't quit.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Denzel Ward.
Well, to be frank, CD, this is getting tough to watch. I mean, you feel for him, but 6 interceptions, that's at a whole new level. It's not a good level.
It makes it tougher and tougher to come up with ways to try and support him. But you have to as a team, because you can't just throw your quarterback aside. You're going to need him later on. But it reminds me of a time that a former defense coordinator of mine told me he was in a game where his quarterback threw 7 interceptions. So after the 6-1, one of the defensive players went to the quarterback and said, here's what you do. Throw the ball to the other team, and let's see if our receivers can pick it off and turn it into a completion.
That's just mean. I don't know that I'd go down there and say that to him right now. Probably pretty fragile. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. That good for 22 and a 1st down. He showed his shiftiness and his explosion to take him all the way down near the goal line.
Love that description, and it creates momentum. Maybe you hand it to him again since he's got it going, or do you fake it to him and throw it to a teammate? Right now, the options are wide open.
They'll run with Chubb. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
You get down near the goal line, you need to start enlisting the help of all 11 guys on the defense. And that's it.
And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Nick Chubb taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Browns get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. And, partner, are you kidding me? With this game that he's having, we are in uncharted waters like we've never seen before.
Just think, if he keeps every football from all the touchdowns scored today, does he need to build a new trophy room at home?
Yeah. A couple trophy rooms. Maybe a whole home for trophy room.
What a phenomenal performance, and I'll guarantee you he's going to reward the rest of the offensive unit after this as well for helping him get to this number.
He better. This is just unreal. Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. So now here come the Dolphins. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Tua. That's complete to Mostert out of the backfield. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
He completes it to Wilson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Set, ready.
2 now on 1st down. Over the middle, he's got Gesicki, the big 6'5" tight end. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
Ready.
On play action, here's Tua. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
Set, punt.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4. 2nd down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll stay on the ground with Mostert. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. They'll run the draw with Mostert. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. And he's just short. He got 6 of the 7 he needed, so that leaves a decision here on 4th and a yard.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
So 4th down, Tua departs, and on is Jason Sanders and the Dolphin field goal unit. This will be a 34-yard attempt. Sanders' kick is good, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
This one fielded at the 5. A lane opens here. He's past the 30. And they got to be pleased with this. He brings it all the way up to the 40-yard line. Now Nick Chubb of the Browns gets set for their next possession. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home, because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 42 yards rushing for him now. He's only carried the ball 4 times. They've kept him in check until that run. That's the first time he's really gotten loose in this game.
And they have to keep that in mind. Don't dwell on the fact that he finally had a big run. You kind of are counting on that as the game went on. Get back to what you were doing before. Start limiting him again.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. And again, it's Chubb. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up. Well, the offense has had a big day. He's been great running the football, but I don't think anybody liked that last result.
No, they didn't like the last result at all, but they have to look at it in total, don't they? They've had a big day running the football. You take an occasional loss or an occasional bad play along the way, but all in all, they have to like what they've done.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. York able to send this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. So tack on 3 more, though this, it's just a rare drive where they did not find the end zone.
Yeah, you're right about that, partner, but at this point, I don't think you're too concerned about that. You just want to possess the football for a while and drain the clock. If you can get 3 out of it, that's great too.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. From the 10. And he returns this to the 22. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
On 2nd down, Mostert. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
This is searching for their first touchdown this game, partner. And that quick 3 and out, that's not going to achieve that at all. Give victory to the secondary there. They brought out tight coverage on that 3rd down snap.
That's taken on the 25. And he's loose again. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. An impressive 75-yard punt return. And the Browns extend their lead yet again. Well, what a game for him. He hits for the return cycle, so to speak. He had the kick return. Now the harder part just got the punt return for a touchdown.
And I would imagine that the special teams coach, as the ball left the punter's foot, he was thinking, Should have kicked away from it.
Yeah.
Should have kicked away from it. He's in a groove, and sometimes you hit those grooves or those zones in a game, and he's in one now. He's in perfect sync with his teammates blocking, and he knows how to find the end zone.
So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. Pulls it in at the 13. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Dolphins about set to go to work on offense. And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Tua now on first down. And incomplete on the deep ball. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Tua to Tyreek for the Miami first. A run with Mostert up the middle. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. Second down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Jadeveon Clowney able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Now the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long. Now back to throw. And that is incomplete.
That play was certainly a little bit different because on the previous play he was sacked. This time, protection a lot better. Had time to survey the field and still couldn't find an open receiver.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for Miami. Fielded at the 20. That's a 43-yard punt, aided as well by a loss on the return. The Browns set to take over. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
3rd quarter action. Appreciate you joining us from Cleveland, Ohio. 2nd and 10. Watson. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
He's going to let it go again. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. The Browns send out their punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. But there are times to run that fake, and there are times to not run it, and this, without question, would fall in the latter category.
Well, I don't know about without question, partner. I think we should look at the analytics on this one because, oh, yeah, the analytics say, yeah, without question. You should have gone ahead and punted the football because now, not only did you not get it, and you really had no chance to, what a short field that you turned the ball over to the other offense.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Tua sets up to pass it. He'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now here in Cleveland. Facing a 2nd and 3. Ball on the 10. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. They hand it off to Mostert. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2. They'll look to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
They'll try it now with Mostert. And this is going to be nowhere close. Needed some inches and ended up losing yardage. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the 1st down. And this Browns defense stands tall. And they've now made 2 trips to the red zone and still looking for their 1st touchdown.
Not able to punch it in, and if you're on defense, your confidence is sky high. Because mentally, you're saying, hey, you're in the red zone. We're thinking we're giving up 3. We just want to give up 6. In this case, they end up not giving up the touchdown at all. They've got to feel great about what they got done.
Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. He'll start things off with a handoff to Chubb. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Now an option play on 2nd down. And some room to run now. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Beating him there with his legs, 21 yards, 1st down. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there and worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Chubb running right. He'll get this to about the 38.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 60 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
I know we're in the era of wide-open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football, and we just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 44-yard line. A give running right is Chubb. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. 11 more on that one and another first down. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
They run again on first down. Chubb. Shoves him away. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Chubb is into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all three phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
York on now for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drives 7 plays in length. And Nick Chubb the one to finish it off as he does so with a touchdown run. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return. Miami's offense set and ready to go. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Here we go.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Ready.
Back to throw here. Completes it to the tight end Smythe. First target, first catch, and a first down.
Here we go. Here we go. Ready.
From the gun, it's Tua. Open there, that's Gesicki down the field. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 36. Tua setting up shop to throw again. And his throw is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
To throw again on 2nd down. Tua escaping the pressure right. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
Ready up.
So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long.
Ready.
He'll drop to throw. And pressure gets to him again. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand.
You can almost see all the defenders rubbing their hands together with glee because we all know they relish the chance to bring down a quarterback of his caliber. Anyone who brings him down has plenty to talk about. Not just a sack, but a big win built up the efforts of this defense.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for Miami. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt.
It's set.
They begin this drive with Chubb. And some room to work. And he will step out of bounds all the way down inside the 40. A big play that time out of Chubb. 57 yards. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field. They run it again with Chubb. Room here to run. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb, 37 yards. And the Browns add 6 more to their point total. And they're on cruise control right now here in the 4th. They seemingly just continue to score at will, and as great as it's been for the offense, you got to feel for that defense down there.
I love how you use the word will, because both teams came into the game with the will to win, but one team has obviously imposed its will on the other and broken them, because what we're seeing right now, wow, that's a defense that's in tatters after what they faced in this ball game.
Extra point by York is up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. Taken from about the 12. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Miami set to take over. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD, but unfortunately the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Setting to throw on first down is Tua. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Tua. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Greg Newsome. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown.
Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping to hold a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
Extra point by York is up and good.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away.
Pulls it in at the 13. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Dolphins ready to take over on offense. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them.
Okay, right.
To end the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10.
Right at the 30.
Check white. Switch yellow.
Tagovailoa trying again after the pick six.
And they'll get this on the screen to Mostert.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Only 3 there on the screen at 2nd down. Now Tua.
He'll hit Mostert again here.
So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Tua going to throw.
And this will be incomplete. Boy, can you believe this? That one probably should have been picked too. Instead, it's 4th down.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for Miami. This is taken at the 18. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, 59 yards.
And the Browns have got it on cruise control.
As that lead just swells and swells. Look, this has been dominance in all 3 phases, offense, defense, and special teams.
So don't we have to give a lot of credit, not just to what we've seen today, but the preparation in advance, coaching staff, commitment by the players to the game plan, and being ready to go in this one? You're exactly right. Clean sweep. And, boy, they're going to celebrate this one after it's over.
And on the other side, this is the game film you just flush and never go back and review.
Extra point by York is up and good.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. Pulls it in at the 13. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
Ready?
On the ground, it's Mostert to start the drive.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
Ready, ready.
from the 31. Tua steps away to his left. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up third down. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Tagovailoa going to try and throw on third down. And that will be incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. Another opportunity now for the Browns offense. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them. But all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down. They just look like they're having fun out there. Big lead. There's another big play on the big run. I mean, they can't be stopped.
I'm a little bit older than you, as you well know, partner, and you tend to tell me that all the time. But there used to be a big-time song, and the lyric was, "Summertime and the living is easy." Right now, it's football time, and the running is easy for this crew.
The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down. Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this one is incomplete.
Up huge on the scoreboard, and they're still trying to add to their total. That shot doesn't connect, but I don't think it'll dissuade them from attempting another one.
And look at this, another fake. And this is going to blow up in their faces. Not only do they not get the first, they're going to lose big yardage as well. Boy, that's asking a lot of your punt team there, and they were not able to deliver.
It's asking an awful lot of the punt team there, because if it's 4th and 4, 4th and 3, you've got a chance, right? That's a manageable distance to try and pick up when you're running a fake. But when that number's actually been in the weight room and it's pumped up like it was, that's difficult to do, all right? So you might even think to yourself, if I left my offense on the field, would they be able to pick that up? You could run a nice play and not get that distance.
On 1st down, Tagovailoa. He'll get this into the hands of Mostert. And he'll be brought down at the 27. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. Working with a 2nd and 4. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for them. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And the Browns are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try and wind down some clock with Chubb. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. Handoff comes to Chubb. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. A big chunk of yardage there, 37 yards.
Well, we're beyond the tone setting right now. This guy's been the bell cow all day, and they'll continue to rely on him to move the chains, drain the clock, and lead his team.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. They'll run with Chubb. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. They'll give it to Chubb. And he takes it in for the score in the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome. But a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
At least they were running the ball on the final play instead of trying to throw it to rub it in, but they still got in the end zone. I kind of blame that, though, defensively. They were just kind of not even willing to stop it.
Yeah, they had an opportunity, but I think they looked at the scoreboard and said it doesn't matter either way, and that probably affected them on that play. They ended up giving up one more score.
Fans usually love to see scoring, and there's no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
Lounging around with my crew just chillin'. I'm wearing black and white, but I ain't no villain. When all of a sudden I get this rumbling feeling. It's my stomach, it's telling me I need to be grilling some hamburgers, you know, that big fat and juicy, the ones that be having you licking your lips profusely. And when you take a bite, you no longer feel down, cause with that taste of perfection in your mouth, you can't frown. Life's so good when you're eating a burger, and so unhealthy, it's like artery murder. But you don't even care cause it tastes so good, it's like
hamburger, hamburger, hamburger,
yum.
Hamburger, cheeseburger, Big Mac, Whopper. Hamburger, cheeseburger, Big Mac,